Hello all. In last video we saw what all dimensions and fact tables we are going to create and what all attributes we are going to involve or pull from your 3NF table into a data warehouse system. And so in this video, we'll go one step forward, like we'll create the actual employee dimension from our 3NF tables. So in actual production system, you will have to identify all those different attributes the way we did over here. But I mean, thing which we have missed over here is we haven't mentioned what all data types we have in our source system, and whether it is uniqueness, it is allowed null or not. All those things you have to basically go through in that data modeling process. When you identify the attributes, that time also you have to mention, like at source, whether it is a unique attribute, whether null is allowed or not at source system, what is the data type, what is the maximum data type, if it is a varchar, like what is the maximum value it has in the source at source side, and what maximum value business can expect in the source time. So based on all that discussion, you can finally create a table. So basically all these dimensions and fact are nothing but ideally those has to be tables in your data warehouse system. So let's say in this case I'm going to create this employee dimension table, which will have this employee ID. As I explained earlier, it is nothing but surrogate key, which is only for your data warehouse purpose. It doesn't have any relationship with your 3NF or source table, and but remaining all tables are sourced from your 3NF. Remaining all attributes, I'm sorry for that. Remaining all attributes are sourced from your 3NF or OLAP OLTP system. Okay, let's go ahead. So in this case, I have kept this employee ID as identity column and created remaining attributes the way we have seen earlier in this from 3NF table. Now if I let's create this table. Now in actual production system, you will be putting all that code, like pulling those records. So you may use some so the flow would be like this. You will have OLTP system. From OLTP system you will pull the incremental or delta records every day, or based on your business scenario, maybe it is every day or maybe every 4 hours, 5 hours, based on your business scenario, into staging tables. And from staging tables you will put that in your dimension and fact, and based on the scenario you may have ODS table in between or not, but that is all optional. So basically we'll pull that delta records into staging table, and from staging tables you will populate your dimension and fact tables. So first dimension and obviously, and after that fact table. So that is how it has to be. So in our case, what we'll do, since we have to as you can see, we have to pull those. We don't have the staging tables. We are excluding that part, the incremental load, because it would be too complex. So we are creating our dimension tables or populating our dimension table directly from your OLAP system. So, and one thing we have to note is your dimension attributes has to be unique. What I mean to say is, so if you see over here, the email is unique business entity wise. I mean, obviously employee ID is unique, but we cannot use employee ID while populating the fact table. We'll come to that, what I am trying to say. So what I'm saying is, in this case, your email ID, because you cannot have same email ID to different employees in one organization. So that means email is a business key, or which is going to use by a business. So email ID cannot be repeated. So definitely that is unique. So the granularity of your employee dimension in this case is employee ID, email ID, and that cannot be duplicated. So you have to make sure, like some business key in your dimension has to be unique, and which you are going to use as for your job to populate, which you are going to use in a join to populate the fact table. So that cannot be duplicated. Otherwise, while loading a data into fact table, your data will not be correct. I mean, you will insert eventually the duplicate data again in fact table as well if it is duplicated in dimension table. We'll see that, like why it is important and all. So let's so as I said, you have to make sure your email ID has to be unique. So in this case, like let's pull the records from your employees table first. So let's start from, so I have that mentioned here, employees table. So as you can see, we need only these these attributes like first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date. So I need only these attributes. So and out of this only email is unique. So for employee the email is same, his first name, last name can change, his phone number can change, his hire date can change, but email has to remain same in the entire employee's tenure, or in a entire like till the time that employee is working for that organization, his email ID is constant. That is what we'll assume here. So what actually happens over here is we'll insert records. First thing we will insert into HR.employees. Let's create this table first. Okay, so the table is already there. Table is not there, maybe view is there. Okay. Okay, so insert into HR.employee, select, so I will select all these. Okay, and I will use same column here. Alright, and since we have not considered the first column, which is employee ID, because that is the identity which is auto populated. So employee, where I will give this as a PMP, where not exist. I will explain you like why this is important. Select one from let's say HR.employee dimension, dot, as I said earlier, so we are considering email ID as a unique attribute for your dimension table. So I will be checking only email ID, and I will join that with emp.email ID. So what I am doing over here is, let me minimize this. So as you can see, so I am checking if that particular email ID is already there in employees dimension or not. If it is not there, if it does not exist, then you insert it. If it is exists, then you do not. I mean the query will not insert. So let's run this query. We'll see what happens. Something not work. So let's ignore phone number time being. I feel it's because of the phone number. Let me check if we have any record number. Let's start. Okay, it is blank. That's good. Okay, so as you can see, so it was because of phone number, the length I might have given less, and in actual employees table the length is very high. So let's ignore that part as of now. So what I am doing over here is, so there are 112 records got inserted in your employee dimension. So let's start from employee dimension. Okay, so as you can see, like, see, the employee ID got auto populated. Okay, and similarly remaining attributes. Now phone number, since we omitted, it is null, so that's fine. And so if I run this query again, because it happens like when you pull the records incrementally, same employee ID which might have got updated, I mean, let's say the hire date got changed, I mean to say it got moved from one department to another department, still the hire date will remain same. Let's say first name got changed or last name got changed, so employee ID email will still remain the same, but there is a change in the employee ID. So if we don't look for this, the email ID, your email ID will get duplicated in your dimension table, and we do not need that. So that's the reason you need to check if that employee, if that email is already there in your dimension table or not, and we are doing that. So if I run this insert statement again, it should not enter in, or it should not insert any records. So as you can see, 0 records got inserted. So that's why this check is important. But there is another thing. So as I told you, let's assume like in the delta records, while pulling the updated records from source, your email ID is same, but first name got updated. That's the reason in staging table you got the new records now. So you need to update those records, the latest records, in same dimension table. So in order to do that, what you have to do is, so you have to update your dimension table with the latest records. So let's say update, let's say emp dim from HR.employee dim, emp dim. Okay, join that with your staging table, because so so I'm using the directory NF. Instead of that, ideally it has to be a staging table. So I will consider this, I will join this based on email emp dim, so emp dim dot email equal to emp dot email. Okay, and what I need to update, so as I said, email ID will always remain same. That is what our assumption is. So we'll update remaining all the records. So let's say set emp dim dot first name equal to emp dot first name, emp dim dot last name, emp dot last name, and emp dim dot, so in this case the phone number as well, emp dot phone number, emp dim dot hire date, emp dot hire date. So now what this query is doing, if it finds the same, so between staging table and the dimension table, if it finds the same email ID, that means something got changed, because this is not a new email ID. This email ID is already there in our dimension table, and some other attributes got changed. That's the reason it got pulled over into a staging table. So since some other attribute got changed than email ID, we need to update that, update the latest records, updated records in our dimension table. So based on the email ID, we are updating remaining attributes. If I run this query, it will okay, I need to, let's ignore this. So not hide it. Phone number was giving the trouble. Yeah, so always, I mean, since there are 112 records now in staging table, it's always updating 112 records. So basically your insert query and your update query will go hand in hand. What I mean to say is, you will be putting both this insert and update query in let's say in some create procedure load employee dim, let's say. So you will be adding all both this insert update query into a simple stored procedure, and you will create each separate stored procedure for each dimension, loading into each dimension, and also for fact. I mean, this is just simple insert and update. If there is a SCD type 2 logic involved, you need to add. It will be more complex basically. Other than that, you need to handle your use your error handling things. If you have to use logging things, so there are different things. So as you can see, like creating this table and insert and update, it is too complex, and we do not want to do that. I mean, it will take very much time if we do all these things for this demo purpose. So instead of that, what I am going to, let me drop this table. So I will be avoiding creating, why I explained this, so that is how it happens in actual production system, but for our demo purpose I will be avoiding all that thing. So instead of that, what I am going to create is, so let's let me, so I will create a view instead. What I mean is, so let me do this alive employee. Since we need, I told you right earlier, like we need the uniqueness, so I will group by all this. So I will ignore this email ID as of now. We'll consider all these attributes as unique value just for our purpose right now. And what I will do, I will keep these attributes as, I will add row number. So since in as you can see, while creating that table, we added that, or we considered that employee ID as an identity column. So same thing we are going to do. So row number over order by, I will use all this because I am considering all these things are unique. Okay, and I will give this as a NP ID. Okay. If I run this, see, I will get exactly the same result. The way we are seeing when, like the way we are inserting into our employee table, the earlier actual fiscal employee dimension table which we see, same results. Instead of, only thing is we are avoiding that insert and not exist and update statement. We are simply creating a view. So what I will do, create view, and let's go back to our Excel sheet. I will use this employee dim. So instead of a fiscal table, it will be a view now. Yes. If I run this, let me go through this again. So first name, last name. So it's first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date, and I will use this PNP ID just to be consistent. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so if I run this now, so let's start from HR dot employee dim. You should see the records. So this is not a fiscal table basically, so it's a view, but the logic is same. So basically this employee ID has nothing to do with our actual employee ID in our source system. So now this is a dimension table which has email ID as a unique value. So if you see, let's try to check. Let's check if we have any duplicate value for email. If it is there, I mean yeah, null. So that means our view is correct. So let's go back to our intro section. So we have done with this employee dimension, and in the next video we'll create these three, like department, manager, address dimension, and we'll create these 4 dimensions. I mean, I will not again walk you through that insert update statement the way we did in this video. We'll simply create the view as we have created for these employees. Thank you for watching this video.